All right, Rhode Nation. Today I'm joined by the great Dee Dee Davis. She's a 5'8" speedy transfer guard from Manhattan College with a big game. So your name is Dee Dee Davis, and it sounds like you're a movie star. Have you? I could just
I
see Netflix presents starring Dee Dee Davis.
it's a cool name. I get that a lot.
Yeah,
Sometimes people use my name more than me, so
sure.
I don't really say my name too often, but it's a cool name to have.
Are you interested in going into acting after this?
I'm not. I know
Oh,
Coach
you're
Reese
not? Okay.
that's something that she loves and she values and that she's great at. Just another one of her amazing traits and qualities. But so maybe she can teach me a little something, but I've never really had
Yeah.
much interest in that world.
I was going to refer to Tammy's favorite line after she's finished coaching. She's going to Betty White it. I don't know if you know that. So, also, congratulations on your wedding and marriage.
Thank you.
How does it feel? Tell me about it.
I think Coach Reese mentioned it's a lot, for us both as a player entering the transfer portal. It can be a lot,
Hmm.
it can be overwhelming. And what I've learned is you're going to experience a lot of firsts, right? And I've been at
Yeah.
one program for 5 years, so I have no idea. This is a new world for me.
Yeah.
But the thing that I'm also recognizing is the other side of it. My coaching staff at URI, they're also going to experience a lot of firsts. I think I'm the first player that's ever been married that Coach Reese has coached, so it's a whole world of new things that's going on for us both on both sides of it. It feels wonderful. And like my favorite comment is, "Oh my God, but you're 23, you're so young." And I love that comment. I love when people are like, "But you're so young." And it's
Yeah.
like, one, I don't believe that age has a love has a number, an age number for it. I truly believe when you know.
Yeah.
Um, and I can't believe it. I'm still like, this is unbelievable. I'm married to my absolute best friend. And people say you're supposed to travel, you're supposed to live life, have fun in your 20s. And I'm like, I'm doing that. I just have a best friend to do that with.
I'm so happy for you, Dee Dee.
Thank you.
Well, I'll have a lot of surprises today, but let's start with the first one. So tell me about this production here. I know we don't have the music, but it's pretty intense here. I
Okay,
told you you should go into acting.
that maybe. I mean, this was just a lot of fun. When I look back at this photo shoot, this video, FUN. Those are the words that come to mind because I was just myself. I felt like I've been on the team already. I haven't played a single game yet for URI, but it just felt like I'm just having a good time with people who love basketball the same as I do. And so it felt very organic. It felt very natural.
Let's just go right to the highlights. You're a 3-level scorer, and that's showing it right there. I like that high arc. The women's game, men could learn a lot from the women's game. I've heard some knowledgeable basketball fans talk about the arc that I see often in the three-pointer. That's just a jump shot. How's your three-pointer going? You're never satisfied, are you, Dee Dee?
Never. And it's tough when you're a speedy guard. It's like, okay, this girl is quick, so let me give her a first step. Let me give her some space. And so what that does is it forces you. I would say my go-to, I love transition. I love to dribble the ball to get out, get layups, fast break opportunities. And so when you have that sort of mindset, your defender would love to give you a first step. They love to sort of sag off, and what that does is it forces you to shoot threes. And so that's something that's probably, if I could call it out, that's what I want to work on the most in my game. I really want to be able to just be a standstill, knockdown 3-point shooter, as well as off the dribble. So with that mindset, with a lot of defenders saying, okay, I know this girl wants to get downhill. I want to be automatic from there. And that's something that I've been really working on in the off season. That's something that I know that once I get to URI, they'll turn that into a strength of mine, especially coming off screens and whatnot. Things of that nature. Again, I'm a 3-level scorer, but I think that I can really work on my 3-point shooting as well as my shot creating off the dribble.
And just going about what URI is getting, your 4-year standout and 2-time All Metro Atlantic Conference selection with the Jaspers. I love that nickname, Jaspers. You call yourself a 3-level scorer. We see it right here. You even have that little short, and it's not a teardrop. It's in between a short jumper and a teardrop. I think the ones I saw, but you probably have that in your game too.
Yeah.
And 15.4 points. This is just incredible. 7.5 rebounds. Come on. Really, Dee Dee? You're 5'8"? How are you getting 7.5 rebounds? That's just
Um,
an amazing number.
I'm pretty desperate. I had another interview and she asked me the same thing. She said, "How is that possible? You're 5'8". And I said, I'm just pretty desperate. Like, I think it's really who wants it more. I just want to have a nose for the ball. Some people have a nose for the ball, some people don't. I think that it's there. The nose for the ball is there, but I just have a will to want to jump through the roof and grab the ball without getting it over the back. I just really want to go get that ball, because what that does is if I can get my own rebound, I'm going to put it back up. I'm even closer to the basket than whoever else. And on the defensive end, I'm a guard. So if I had the ability to snatch a rebound down, I'm not looking for anyone to pass me the ball. I'm not looking for an outlet pass. I'm going to get it and I'm going to go myself and look to create for others or myself.
I could see Ryan Center's going to fall in love with your game. Just the speed and the excitement that you bring on from the highlight. I can't wait for the season to start. What's the first game of the season? Do you know yet, or?
Oh, we don't know. We
don't know yet. Yeah.
It has not been shared with us. Not yet, I don't believe, but I will definitely add you to the list. I'm sure you'll probably get it before I do. So
yeah, you know me. I live on Twitter.
Yeah, so I think you'll get it before I do. So you share it with me when you get the first game.
That's funny. Well, your tweet I sent with that Twitter that we just showed did very well. And I put it in Instagram also in a reel. And did you see the Statue of Liberty on the left-hand side?
I did.
Yeah, that's your New York honor to. I'm a New Yorker. You get that swag, don't you?
It's not possible for you to not have it when you come from New York. At least I don't think. It's just not a thing. You're from New York. The swag is there. It's up to what you do with it. That's on you. But
yeah,
at least a little bit of swag will be there if you're especially a guard coming out of New York City.
We're going to go into the deck now, the PowerPoint. You like that picture? Well, there's an arm there. There's a person behind that arm, I promise you.
What's there to be negative? I get the chance to talk to you. Like, my day is made, but seriously, what's there to be negative about? I'm a collegiate athlete. I get my books paid for. I work hard. I'm married to my best friend. I get to be around amazing people. Coach Reese and her staff, teammates are great. She only recruits great people. You're not great, you're not there. It's as simple as that. And she's been able to do that and perpetuate this positive environment. Each and every year she's been here, and it's gotten better and better. And so really, what's there to be negative about? When you break it down, okay, I had a bad game, all right, or I'm not playing well, or I'm not playing as much as I'd like to, or there's something going on in the locker room. Those things happen. I tend to do this thing called zoom out. And when I zoom out, one, it's never as bad as you think it is, ever, right? There are people on their deathbed. There are people who are not well. There are people who can't play the game. There are all kinds of things going on. And so when you zoom out, it's just hard to not have that positive mindset. I truly believe that I'm really blessed and I get to play basketball. I have God-given abilities and I get to work on those every single day. And so with that mindset, I don't know if there's a way for me to lose.
That's beautiful. My mom is 88 years old. She's my biggest fan of this podcast. And she has challenges being 88, but I'm going to tell her on tough days, which there's many, to zoom out.
Zoom out.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Going into the MAAC championship, that was pretty special, wasn't that? You weren't expecting to make it over there, and you just snuck in.
That's a really good way to put it, because we didn't get there all loud and we literally snuck in. So that was fun. It was really fun looking back. We got there 2 years in a row, right?
Yeah.
It's funny because there were two entirely different teams, two entirely different seasons, right? One season looked a little better than the other. We lost a lot one season. We had more another. So to just get back to where we did the year before, it was miraculous and it was wonderful.
Another person that takes a negative word and turns into a positive is your coach, Tammy Reese. There's a quote there. Defensively, she is a problem. So she's calling you a problem, and she means it obviously in a positive way. And you have the ability to heat the ball up and all these great things you see in the quote there. Rhode Island initially recruited you, and then you had a torn ACL. And
Yeah.
Manhattan, you have a lot of love for Manhattan, even though you transferred to URI. And I'm sure people would have loved to have another season with Dee Dee Davis in New York City. But they were good. Tell me about your injuries, not just injury. You had
Yeah,
two, didn't you?
I had to. I tore both.
Yeah.
And so when I was a junior, I started getting my freshman summer in high school and then my sophomore, all throughout my sophomore year. And then my sophomore summer, I got a lot of love and I was starting to get a lot of interest, because I had spent all of my seventh grade years, my eighth grade years just playing basketball. I didn't have a summer. I wasn't hanging out with my friends and whatnot. I was working on my game at such a young age. And that's just what it is nowadays. But back then, my mom, I remember she was sort of like, just hang out on basketball, just chill out, maybe have some fun with your friends or go to the beach and play around. And I said, no, mom, college is expensive. And I would have loved
Mm.
to have maybe save all that money that, maybe would have been put towards going to college. Um, I'd love to go there for free and I'd love to figure out a way. How can I have this thing that I love? How can I use this thing that I love to work for me? That was really my mindset when I first started playing basketball. And then I just sort of forgot about that. I just sort of fell in love with the game just because of what it was. And then I realized all that it could bring to my life potentially. And so I started getting a lot of interest from schools. And I remember each letter that I got or each letter of interest that I got, I would write it down in my notes or in a letter just to keep track of who was keeping track of me. And even if it was a letter, and my junior summer, I tore my ACL, and I remember on that list, URI was at the top, and I was being heavily recruited by them. And I remember thinking, I don't want to tell anyone that I'm hurt. I would hate to tell people. I don't know what this means. Hopefully, this doesn't get out. And obviously, if you're somebody who's being recruited, you're supposed to play at certain tournaments, people will sort of say, okay, well, maybe she's hurt. I wonder where she is. And so that's exactly what happened. And I stopped hearing from everyone come ending of my junior year and whatnot. And it hurt. It was really, really depressing and sad to just know. I just sort of felt like I wasn't good enough anymore. And so I tore my ACL. And I remember, I think I reached back out to the URI staff saying, hey, I know you know that I'm hurt, but I will overcome this. What are you thinking? Is it still me? Am I still the guard that you're looking for? And I remember they said, sorry, we got to transfer from, I don't know where, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
uh, and so, I remember crying so hard that day. I remember just being so sad. And I was just like, oh my gosh, this sucks. URI is all that I wanted. Out of all the schools that I had recruiting me, it wasn't huge, but it wasn't too small. It's a religious school. So I've had so many ties. I feel to URI, a lot of friends who've gone there. Just people just loved it for me when I would tell people about it, when I would talk to people about URI and say, hey, this is the school that I think I want to go to. It was just nothing but positive feedback. And so for them to sort of just drop me, it was really heartbreaking. And I just moved on. I said, okay, I've got to spend this summer. I've got to reinvent myself. I've got to come back better than ever. And so I did that. And I came back my senior year and I played well. And Manhattan, my high school coach really begged Manhattan to take me. He said,
Yeah.
listen, she works hard. She's a good girl. She does her schoolwork. Please take her. And they said, okay. And so they took me. And then after that, my freshman year at Manhattan, I won Rookie of the Year. But then I tore my ACL a couple games before it was over. A couple games before my freshman year was over. And so I tore the opposite ACL. And so at this point, I'm thinking, there's no way. I mean, is this going to happen again in another year? Why is this happening to me? This sucks. I hate this. Should I be playing basketball? Am I injured? It was just a lot that was going through my mind. But again, I can talk about my faith for hours and hours, but I just sort of had to rely on that. I really had no other choice. That's the year that I met my wife. That year was good to me. It was mentally, I
Yeah.
was in a terrible place because these two injuries were significant. It's not like these are the two. I think an ACL as well as an Achilles tear. They're both the longest injuries that it takes to recover from. And so, in my mind, I'm just freaking out. I'm like, oh my gosh, Manhattan thankfully took a chance on me. I don't know why, but they did. And here I am back in the same position. And so I thought that they were done with me. I thought that they were probably going to kick me off the team. I didn't know what to think. And Coach Heather Vullen, I love her. I love her. She's wonderful. That is the head coach of Manhattan College. She was just at my wedding last week. And she's wonderful. She said, Dee Dee, you'll come back from this and it's going to be beautiful and it'll be amazing. You believe me. You believe me, believe you. And I said, okay. And now look at us. We're on this podcast looking at all of my stats and looking at all the things that I was able to accomplish after those 2 ACL tears. And the thing for me, I never wanted anybody to remember that. I never wanted to remember how I was hurt. And I wanted people to watch my game and to not have a clue in the world that I've torn both ACLs. And as you see in this photo, I always wear protective padding. My doctor says you cannot, he says, Dee Dee, never ever play without something on your knees. Just don't do it. These will keep you obviously not I can get hurt at any time, God forbid.
Sure.
But what these do is they sort of give you compression. They sort of, when you fall and when you bang your knees, they sort of help. And so I always play with those. They give me a little safety net mentally. But it's taught me so much, tearing both ACLs. I've also learned that within women, it is what it is. The way women's hips are aligned. Research shows that women are 6 times more likely to tear the ACL.
Wow.
Counterparts. Yeah. And it's just because of the way our hips align, it's anatomy things, basic anatomy things. And that's fine. I'm proud. Who cares? This is just another obstacle that I was able to overcome. And needless to say, I worked very hard to come back from both of those injuries. They took a lot out of me, but they also gave me a lot back. I've learned so much. I think that I'm a better person because of it. And you sort of play with a chip on your shoulder when God forbid I get hurt next time. I know what that's like to be out. I never want that to happen again. So why am I going to take a game off or a practice off? Or I take practice very seriously because you just don't know when it's your last. And this is all love to everyone, but a player who's never experienced an injury that significant may not know what that's like to be forced to be out, So it's also instilled a mindset in me of you truly can't take anything for granted. And I was also afraid of being labeled as injury prone. And so what that did was it sort of forced me to go. I probably rehab on my body. People think that I'm hurt all the time. My teammates, I remember the freshmen came in over the summer, when our first time being as a team together at Manhattan last year, and I would rehab every single day. And they would say, Dee Dee, are you hurt? What's the matter? Why are you always in rehab? And it's just a mindset that I have. I know that if I work on my hip flexors and if I do these certain exercises, if I try to strengthen my quadriceps and my hamstrings and all these things, I know that these things are put into place to decrease injuries. They're put into place to strengthen the ligaments and tendons around, as well as the muscles around your ACL. And would I have known that if I didn't get hurt? No, right? And it's been a beautiful process, and so I'm really grateful for it. It's turned my life around.
It sounds like it. The way.
Yeah, I can't complain. I'm a grateful person.
Yeah.
It's worked out for me. I'm very grateful to have torn both ACLs, and I'd do it again.
Wow.
I would love to do it again, this whole process. If I went back a couple years, I would pray that nothing would be different.
Well, it sounds like a crazy, ridiculous statement, but when you say it, I truly believe you mean it, and I get it. It's not an easy thing though to believe, but it takes a very strong mind and appreciation in life. Oh, that's a beautiful thing to say. And then we talk about why URI, and you had some good schools here, Dee Dee. Clemson, St. John's, Duquesne. There's other things that you like about the program. This could be a great recruiting YouTube video, but we're starting to get a track record of winning, and I'm hearing other people saying that too. You're on the Slim podcast, is that right? The Slim something?
I was.
I love the way they talk about our program, and it's
Absolutely
becoming a culture, like all the great programs, and Miami Heat's another culture.
Exactly.
Other things, you're saying it's a dream to end my career at URI. So Coach Shawnee, I know you don't need my help at all, but this would be a great clip when you're on those road trips and you're eating fast food. You want to close on a recruit. Dee Dee is your prize person as a testimonial.
Yeah, at Manhattan, whenever we'd have recruits, they'd sort of send them my way.
And here's something that you might like.
This
This is good though, because you can explain to us You want to explain to us your name right there, which is not your name on the screen of our YouTube. I'm not going
Oh
to
my,
even try to pronounce it. I want you to pronounce it and tell me what you told me earlier on the pregame show when we were talking.
oh my gosh. Yeah, this photo.
Calpurnia.
Calpurnia. This is, this
I
is like
got it. Wow.
scene is blown up. Wow. But yes, this is my wife. This is my wonderful, wonderful wife. We met her freshman year in kinesiology class. And funny, it was really funny. I went to my academic advisor and the week before class, and I said, please take me out of what is this? What is you said you wrote kinesiology on my slip? What is this? I didn't sign up for this. I said I want to take law classes and sociology classes and maybe English and because I'm focused on this stuff. I don't know what kinesiology is. And she said, listen, Dee Dee, here's the deal. You go to one class. She said, you go to the first class. And if the teacher says anything that interests you, if there's anything about this class that interests you, you have to see it through. You have to be honest with me and you have to see it through because it's an elective. You need another elective. And so I said, I don't know. And so I went and now I have a wife. She interests me. She's wonderful. And she's the smartest person I've ever met in my life. She's just very, very strong. But yes, her name is Calpurnia, and both of her parents are writers. She's wonderful. You'll see her at every game.
I know. I'm hoping that they zoom in, like you said, zoom out. We want to zoom in on her because I feel like I know her now, and our
She's the
fans
best.
will know her too.
Yes, she's the best. She'll be there. I'm sure she'll be there.
Yeah, I see a glow in your eyes and a big smile, and this photo should be in a bridal magazine. Not just my podcast. It needs to be in the best magazines right there. The only problem I have, I love your outfit. It should be Rhode blue.
You know what? She is wearing, but you know what? She's wearing like light blue,
okay,
bikini blue. So, it was like one blue shade off, but I think you're right. Once we maybe.
Yeah, I'm just playing with you though.
Well, maybe we'll do Rhode blue.
Maybe you'll renew your vows someday and then you'll have a chance to do that.
Yeah.
Well, we have one little thing left. I'm filled with surprises today, and we're going to have the most fun of all at this moment now. So before I play this, I'm going to ask our fans, who has a better scream, Tammy or Dee Dee? In our comments section on this podcast, if you think Tammy has one, type T. If you think Dee Dee has one, type D. But let's go to it right now. Yeah! I know you did homework on me and you told me Tammy had good things to say, and I'm never going to get you a gotcha. Maybe I got you a gotcha there.
Yeah. I've got to work on mine. I've got to work on it. And my voice is all shot right now. So
can you give me another one? I know. I'm playing with you there.
Yeah.
But I always have to give it a shot. I've usually people turn me down when I ask them for questions like that off guard, but that was pretty good. But you still have to carry it a little longer. My vote goes to Tammy on this. But that was an excellent job there. That part of the Twitter was amazing. And what can I say? You brought it on. Like, it's not a podcast on sports, everyone. All those people that don't want to watch it. We covered science today. We covered afterlife. We covered all kinds of different things because you're a Renaissance woman, Dee Dee. Now Rhode Nation gets to know you a lot, and I know we'll have you back again. I also know that you have an appointment with your trainer, right?
I do.
So I'm going to let you go now before I get in trouble.
No, it's okay.
Yeah? Okay.
I've got to work on my hip flexors.
Well, super. This is what I mean. If you're a fan or want to be, please subscribe so you see podcasts like these with Dee Dee and others. Also, hit the notification when we have other guests on. And I finally say, when it comes to Rhode basketball, it's always go Jaspers. Whoops. Go Rhode. Sorry about that.
Rhode.
Dee Dee, thanks again. And I can't wait to see you, Rhode Blue in the Ryan Center.
Of course. Can't wait.
Okay. Take care.